So Paul, it has been a little bit of a journey of trying to conceive, hasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
1 year?
2 years.
2 years?
3.
Going into the three years.
Something on my ear, though.
Yeah, just a thread. But anyways, we thought we would come here and talk to you about the Mosie Baby because it's been a journey and we're just about to start IVF, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
We're just waiting to hear back from the clinic. Otherwise, we would have started already. That's been a journey in itself, which we'll save for another video. But a few months ago, aka almost a year ago, one of my girlfriends told me about the Mosie Baby kit. And when she first sent it to me, I was like, I don't really get it. We're not in a same-sex relationship. We don't need a donor, so why would we need a syringe kit? And then do you remember when we watched that great sperm race thing?
That was weird.
Very weird, but very informative. And I think it was at that point that I started to understand why something like the Mosie Baby would be useful.
It was funny watching all those sperms like gearing up, getting ready to go, and I reckon mine are just sat there, just like not even bothering. I reckon they're just like, nah, I'm alright, thanks, I'll just stay here.
So, what is the Mosie Baby? What are we even talking about here? Maybe you haven't even heard of it. Well, the Mosie Baby is an at-home syringe kit that you can use on your trying to conceive journey. So when it comes to you, it comes in a kit like this, and you're going to get a little cup like this, and then 2 syringes. Now, if you watch that great sperm race, I think it's called, I'll have it linked for you in the description box, you'll see that sperm has almost like a 3-part journey to get to an egg. And so if you have sperm quality issues, or if you have fibroids, you might be helping the situation along to get the sperm to the egg.
Yeah, just giving them a little push.
Yes. So with that, you have the little collection cup in here. Now before we got this one, we did get a home kit from Amazon, didn't we?
Yeah.
And what were some of the challenges that you found with using the home kit from Amazon?
Well, other than being like awkward and weird.
Yes.
Yeah, getting it, collecting it.
Okay, so what can you see what's like a difference about this cup and the cup that we used for
the other one was like massive, wasn't it, compared to that?
Right. And this one is probably more appropriately sized, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so...
The other one was so big, it was difficult to collect it, if that makes sense.
Right. So, whereas
With the syringe?
Yeah, and I felt like the syringe, it was hard to maneuver it in the cup.
It was all a bit cumbersome, wasn't it?
So, what are you thinking about this?
Yeah, it looks easier.
It looks like it's going to be a little bit...
Save a bit of time as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah. Now, another feature of the Mosie Baby kit, which, I'll be honest, right now, as we haven't used it, I feel like it's kind of gimmicky. But, I don't think I told you this, but at the tip of the syringe, it's supposed to mimic the real thing. It's a slit.
Alright.
And it's supposed to, that's like the same type of slit that's in my cervix.
Right.
So it's supposed to mimic the real thing and
See,
work.
now my thing is, right, so why haven't we evolved to have one of them then?
A slit?
Yeah, like that.
Apparently you do.
Oh, right.
That's
you
what
said
your
it's
opening
mimicking
is.
what you've got.
And what you've got.
Oh, right.
Maybe take a look.
Well, I know what I've got.
The opening.
It doesn't look like that.
You don't think the opening looks like that?
No.
Okay.
But,
Well.
I'll take your word for it.
So, if you are unfamiliar with a IUI or a ICI, that's intrauterine insemination or intracervical insemination. Now, apparently, this is just as successful as going in and paying for a IUI or a ICI. We have family members who were successful with the first or second IUI. I think it was her first.
I think.
Yeah, her first IUI. Now, I don't know about you. Do you feel really confident in this?
I'm a pessimistic person anyway, so no. Just purely because I just think, I didn't think we were going to get to this level.
Yeah.
And now I don't think anything's going to work.
Yeah.
But that's just me being negative, as always.
I don't think it's you being negative. I think that we feel like...
I have so many kicks along the way, haven't we, that it's just like...
Totally. And I feel like this is great in theory, but I think maybe for you and I, we have more issues. I have fibroids that some doctors are saying that that's the reason why we're not getting pregnant.
Yeah, no doctor can seem to be able to explain my sample at all.
Yeah. We'll go into that in another video. But yeah, it's I don't think it's you being negative. I think it's more so we've tried something like this already, and we had quite a few syringes. I think we had 10.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. So
there's definitely a place for this though. For some people, it's going to be brilliant for them.
Yeah. So we'll come back afterwards and we'll tell you how it got on with using this Mosie Baby. Obviously, we're not going to what it was like.
This has been probably one of the most awkward videos I've ever done.
But no, it has.
But it's important. It's important to talk about these things.
It is important to talk about these things, especially for people. We've watched so many. Well, I've watched so many videos and then told you about it.
It's a lonely place.
And I also think that sometimes, because it's what I've noticed, it's a lot of same-sex couples that are using things like this, which we're not. I had never even heard of this being a thing. Now, one thing that I will say before we go is the only thing I'm concerned with this is I think this is the same length as the last one, and this is a bit awkward. The whole conversation is awkward. Let's just talk, like, that's just, it is what it is. But the length of it, maybe my length of cervix is just a bit longer, or like cavity is just a bit longer, I'm not sure. But the last one was like swallowed up. So, and it was so uncomfortable, and then these bits here were like pinching.
And you don't get that problem with me.
No. So yeah, the Mosie Baby, we'll let you know how we get on with it. I do think that it's great for some people. I just think that for us, it might take a little bit more, but we're going to be positive and think positively and hope that this could be it. It would save us a lot of money.
Right, yeah. Right, give it here. I'm off to knock one out.
No. It's not time. It also comes with ovulation kits, which we'll talk about in another, well, I'll talk about it in another video. You don't need to talk about that. Not only have I heard that this could be beneficial because it kind of takes out one leg of the race, but wouldn't you say that this has become, almost 3 years in, wouldn't you say that this has become... It has become a bit of a chore. And would you say with even the cheap Amazon kit that we got, even though it wasn't successful, wouldn't you say that it kind of took the pressure off a little bit?
A little bit, but then the disappointment of you still not being pregnant after that was like, well, I think that was a little bit more difficult to take.
Because you're trying something else.
Yeah, you're trying something else and you think, well, this is definitely going to, and it didn't.
I think that first time, the first month of using the syringes, you really got down, because the first month that we used the syringes, you did have a little bit of a breakdown the first time. Remember when you went to use it?
Yeah.
You lost it.
Yeah.
But I do think after that, there were times where it was just a little bit easier for you to go do your thing, hand it over to me, and give it a whirl. And but I think where I know that it was a little bit easier sometimes is since we haven't had those syringes, I think there's been 3 times where you're like, should we just get more syringes?
Did I? Well, yeah, because like you said, if it takes a little bit of the
pressure off,
you're getting a step closer than you think you're going to be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, who knows?
We'll let you know. I look like an egg. Right, so in our 2-week wait, how was it using that syringe?
Yeah, it was alright. It was easier than the cheap ones.
Yeah. Why was it easier?
It sucks up a lot better. I don't know why. I don't know the physics of it. It just was easier.
Right, and I actually found, you know how I said the other one kind of got lost.
Yeah.
This one, I didn't think it was much longer, but it must just be the tiniest bit longer that it didn't... Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like super long, but it was just the tiniest bit longer, and so it didn't get swallowed.
Back to what I was talking about with the sucking it up.
Yeah.
Like, felt like I was chasing it all around the dish last time. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas this was like straight up.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like as if I did it.
But you were there.
Definitely did not. Okay, so cool. So you would rate the Mosie Baby?
I would use that. Yeah. I would definitely pick that over what we were doing.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned before, I think our issues are probably more complex than what the Mosie Baby can handle. Not that we really fully even know what they are, but...
Well, I think as well, like, everything just felt a little bit more sturdy and, like, well made. Because, like, before, it was literally just, like...
a syringe.
Yeah. And it sort of didn't fit together, and it was all just a bit
a massive cup for
little
drops. Yeah, I think after, you know, I haven't tested yet, but my period should be due in a few days. I don't really test anymore. Like, if it happened and it was a surprise, amazing. But I don't really, I might test this time because we're going away, and it would just be really nice to know how severe of a period I'm gonna have, if I'm gonna have it when we're on holiday. But I think I would like to have this again, because you know how they say that you're like potentially a little bit more fertile after you have a baby. I think I would love to try instantly, like after I have a kid, like after we go do the IVF, if this doesn't work. And so, because some people aren't cleared to even like have sex after they have a baby, because like who knows what the delivery will be like. Whereas I think it might just be good for us to have these things on hand for right after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we are any more fertile after we have the first one, like I want to take every opportunity so I don't have to do another round of IVF if it comes to that.
Yeah.
Positively forecasting here. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something if you're on this journey, regardless of if this works for you or if it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sometimes nice to have hope that there's something else that could be tried.
Yeah.
So I do have, well, we do have a discount code for you. It's going to be on the screen throughout this video, but I don't have a date on when it expires, so I don't think it expires. But if it does, I'll contact the Mosie Baby team, and good luck.
All the best, guys.